Hello, everyone. This is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and this is your weekly forecast for March 5th through the 11th of 2023. So our quote for the week says, "This is when we stop talking about a new reality and start creating one." Ooh, deep breath. Y'all know Saturn moves into Pisces this week. We are culminating and completing a 30-year reality and preparing to rebirth another 30-year reality. So deep. First out the gate, before we get rolling, Sunday kicks off the Soul Contracts class that I'm doing with Nasa Bawa. And this is just going to be a game changer too, y'all. If you are working on any aspects of your relationships and partnerships, whether it's personal or professional, this is going to be an amazing class. She has gathered some great information and developed some amazing tools. And we're going to get down to the nitty gritty of what's going on. And we're going to talk to the ancestors about our soul contracts. So join us over there. It's only $99 for 4-week sessions, and they will be recorded. So if you can't make it live on Sundays, 1 to 2:30 Eastern, and that would make it 10 a.m. to 11:30 Pacific. And then our first activation hits on Monday the 6th with the Sun sextiling Uranus. This activation will help you access a deeper sense of authenticity, as everyday routine events may be more enlightening than usual this week. Anytime Uranus is involved, aha moments are available. That sudden inspiration or the surprising clarity that changes everything is bubbling near the surface. You need but invite it into your conscious awareness to be useful. Eventually, you will have to ground these breakthroughs in some literal way or physical form, but this energy supports the exploration of possibilities. Where can you use a dose of freedom and liberation? How can you lighten up? This energy also promotes authentic living. You won't be able to be phony nor tolerate it in others this week. Just remember that truth sometimes rattles those who would rather play nice. Those are the ones who want to keep up appearances and status quo. They'd rather do that than face the facts. So watch out for rebelliousness, if not in you, then possibly in others. This is a positive activation and is not usually a disruptive energy, except to those who resist change. Don't fight it, embrace it. Change is good. It means that you are growing. Deep breath. The sun lights it up and Uranus cracks it open and allows us to move to some new levels. And sextile's an opportunity to gain some traction. This is good. Then we got the big one on Tuesday, along with our full moon in Virgo. Saturn enters Pisces until 2026. So I made a couple of bullets lists, and then I did a description here. Here are the light aspects and the positive things that Saturn in Pisces brings. Spiritual self-mastery and creating new practices. Manifest the vision and imagine a better reality. Intuition, empathy, and psychic ability improved. Being of service to others while providing for and protecting self. Altruism, community outreach, and charity. Inner strength and resilience. New and improved boundaries and protections. Intentional solitude in nature. New rhythms and better routines. Art, creativity, photography, and new mediums of expression. Sanctuary, sanctification, and sacred space, all going to be very important over the next couple of years. The shadow side of Saturn in Pisces is fears, phobias, and projections, victimization and martyrdom, giving away power and authority, depression, apathy, pessimism, self-sabotage, doubt, and insecurity, judgment, shame, blame, and guilt, surrender, completion, and endings, seeing the potential rather than the reality, denial, spiritual bypassing, and avoidance behavior, confusion and overwhelm, extreme sensitivity, and lack of adequate boundaries. Deep breath. First things first, Saturn takes 28 to 30 years to travel through all 12 signs, spending 2 to 3 years in each sign. Saturn is also known as the Great Teacher, Father Time, or Lord of Karma. Its whole purpose is to teach important lessons, determine healthy limits, and remind you that you are responsible for all of it, who you are as well as what you create in the world. As Saturn moves through the sky and thus through each sign, it will activate Saturn lessons for the collective. During the 20th century, Saturn moved through Pisces in 1905 to 08, 1935 to 38, 1964 to 67, 1993 to 96, and now the 21st century brings the first one in 2023 to 26. You can reflect on the history of those times to assess the social lessons and collective patterns, because there are many. We are in an unprecedented seed time for our personal, social, and collective lives. Think of Saturn as a teacher guide. Think of Aries through Pisces as the lessons that we all have to learn, just like any other education. Some things will be naturally easier and naturally harder according to your individual blueprint and disposition. During Pisces, the lessons have to do with surrender, integration, and good boundaries. We are completing a 30-year cycle of reality and purpose. Personally, our roles and responsibilities have run a full cycle and should be considered for renewal at this time. Imagine this as the time to incubate the new vision that you will act on and activate in literal terms when Saturn hits Aries in 2026. So we want to prepare consciously. On the positive side, we can harness our imaginations to think differently and dream bigger, so we are calling in a new vision for self and humanity, as well as a deeper connection to and reverence for the mystery of life on Earth. We are being called to more awareness and care of our physical bodies, as well as improved spiritual practices and deepened dedication to honoring being a spirit in human form. We will reset our personal boundaries in social collective settings and reclaim our power to control the input of information or images into our consciousness, being more discerning and creative rather than being lazy and accepting things at face value. Deep breath. On the negative side, the shadow expression of this energy leads to literal insanity, a disconnect from reality because it is too harsh, upsetting, or counter to the vision in our minds. We can lose ourselves in the overwhelm of societal and collective crumbling and go down a dark tunnel of victimhood, martyrdom, and judgment. When retrograde, we will get to redream our reality in some way, so tune into the higher self and ask for concrete directions on how to proceed. This means we may have to tweak our spiritual practices during this time to be more effective and meaningful. It's definitely a time to heal and integrate anything blocking or delaying your results and rewards. Once it goes direct, we will have an opportunity to move things around to accommodate the evolved vision for the year. Right now, it's entering Pisces. It will retrograde at 7 Pisces, June 17th, and go direct at 0 Pisces, November 3rd. So very powerful. This year, we just get through the first 7 degrees. So we will get to review what gets awakened right now between March and June. And to that end, I will have a free community event on Thursday, March 9th at 8 p.m. Eastern, and you can register for that here, where we will go into details about Saturn and Pisces and the other planets it's going to touch and how it might affect you with personal activations and things. So join me over there, and if you can't be with us live but you want the replay, be sure to register. Same day as our Virgo full moon, so this is kind of powerful, y'all. Not only does Saturn entering a new zone show where we're going to start rebuilding, Virgo points out what's not working. The Virgo full moon lights it all up. So this Virgo full moon is a potent time to release the need to keep up appearances of beauty or order in your life. Instead, focus on actually healing what is imbalanced or integrating what is fragmented. Then, rather than a temporary fix, you can and will begin to radiate more beauty and order naturally from the center of your own being. Virgo is the energy of fasting and purifying. So if you feel the need to do that, it applies to all levels: physical, spiritual, mental, and emotional. Fast from negativity, internal or external, and purify your priorities. There is something you must be willing to release from your system to have what you want. And there is something you must integrate into your system to be who you are. This is the completion of an annual cycle, so you can ground your intentions this full moon for the completion work on the personal individual level in preparation for birthing a new cycle of working and playing with others on a collective level this spring. As we get to the Virgo full moon, we can really assess all that we put in motion around fall equinox 2022. That was 6 months ago. And release that which is not falling into a natural rhythm by now. What new system or routine did you activate back then? Where does it stand now, 6 months later? Much of what is revealed at this time will also help deepen your dedication to inner wholeness in some way. Clearly, there is more work to do to align your internal truth with your external reality. Check in with the reality of the various relationships or basic exchanges that you are experiencing at this time. Any friction that you may be going through is necessary to help you grow and evolve into the new vision being seeded this month. There may be an intense ending vibe to the usual initiation of a new lunar year, but maybe ending isn't the right word. Think completion or surrender or full circle and trust that all is divine, even if it doesn't all make total sense to you just yet. It's time to run everything through your own internal processor and personal filters before getting to the action-oriented Aries energy of spring equinox 2023, right around the corner. So deep breath, that full moon. Anytime we're dealing with Virgo, Pisces, or Gemini, Sag, we're processing our lives on some level. Then we jump to Saturday, the 11th, when Venus will sextile Mars. This energy is good for creating the balance between self and other. It's good for trying new things and meeting new people if and when possible. It creates a good vibe and a balanced masculine-feminine energy that allows a nice exchange between self and other. This is a good time to be creative, so be cognizant of any ideas that come to you right now, even if you cannot implement them right away. This is a happy, upbeat energy, so if you can be sociable, by all means, get out and mingle. It's possible to attract someone under this influence as well. The best thing to do with this energy is get involved with new projects and progressive people. It's all very positive. Same day, Mercury sextiles Uranus. This is higher mind and lower mind getting together in an opportunity. This is juicy. This is you, the individual, with the higher mind. This energy says it's time to go with the flow, new and different being the flow. It wants to shake it up a bit, but in a good way. However, if you feel like new and different is more like chaos and disruption, then you need to reflect and see if you aren't being too rigid. Unwillingness to go with the new flow will make this energy harder to handle. This is also a good time to try to resolve any old issues or challenges. They are not going away without resolution and conscious release. Perhaps you've been trying the same thing over and over, and it's time to try something new. Now is the time new ideas can and will come to you. Pay attention. Try to be open and receptive to unusual things, events, or ideas, and allow room for spontaneity, improvising, and thinking on your feet. You may think you are doing one thing and look up and be doing something completely different. So be open to exploring the new path. Deep breath. And the last thing, same day, Saturday the 11th, Juno, the divine consort, enters Taurus until May 1st. That's a little under 2 months. Juno rules our most important relationships and what we're deeply committed to. As she moves through Taurus, she reminds us to check in with our personal values within the context of our relationships. It's time to cultivate stability, beauty, and strength within so that the partnerships and collaborations that we engage in are productive, rewarding, and long-lasting. In Taurus, we are building something. So how are your relationships going, personal and professional? How are your intimate relationships in particular? Our Taurus department is where our self-esteem issues around food, sex, and money come up, and often we project our issues onto a partner or attract a partner who has the same issues. Any partnerships we initiate at this time have to fulfill our primary needs, whether it is physical or material security. It is time to be fully present in your dealings with others, and to the degree that you're able to do that, you will be able to add sensuality and beauty to all that you are co-creating with others going forward. If you're not in a partnership, intimate or otherwise, then it's an excellent time to reset your own self-love, self-worth in a way that will carry you for the next 4 to 5 years. Deep breath. Yes, that's how long it takes her to make it through the zodiac and back to Taurus. So this is an infusion of commitment in our Taurus department. What are we committing to? Mine is actually the daily routine, so the new rhythm for the new year and the new house and all that good stuff. So look at where you need to deepen your dedication in your Taurus department. Join us for Soul Contracts. Join us on Thursday evening for Saturn in Pisces. Just a little quick heads up while I got you. Next week, on Wednesday, March 15th, will be the next Venus Circle. And I will have a special guest, Carmen Harris of freeformliberation.com, is going to touch base on Taurus and the heart chakra. So we're looking forward to that. Be sure to drop in if you're not already a Venus Circle member. And I'm looking to create a fire ritual for Monday the 20th for spring equinox. So that's 2 weeks away. So I hope you have a fantastic week. Reach out if you need to. This is Kelly Beard of Karmic Tools signing off.